Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ALAUDDIN bin HASMIZI. So today our group will present about property industry. So we will just discover three property company in property industry, which is MKH Berhad, LBS Bina Group Berhad, and Berjaya Asset Berhad. So for the first part, we will go to the company background, each of company background in property industry. For the first company is MKH Berhad. MKH Berhad is a diversified property developer based in Malaysia with business operation across the Klang Valley, as well as in China and Kalimantan, Indonesia. Their property footprint grew. They expanded into building material, trading, property investment, and furniture manufacturing. While in 2008, they ventured into oil palm plantation in recognition of sustainability of crude palm oil in the long run. The second company is LBS Bina Group Berhad. LBS Bina Group Berhad is a Malaysian-based investment holding company. The company provides management services to its subsidiary companies. The company operates through 5 segments: property development, management and investment, trading, and others. Construction and motor racing circuit. The property development segment is involved in the development of residential, industrial, and commercial property. The management and investment segment is involved in investment holding and provision of management services. So the last company is Berjaya Asset Berhad. Berjaya Asset Berhad is a Malaysian-based company which is engaged in investment holding and provision of management services to its subsidiary companies. The company's segment include gaming and related activities, property development and property investment, and recreation and others. The company, through its subsidiary company, is engaged in operations such as number forecast lotteries in Sarawak. I will continue the presentation with vertical analysis. Vertical analysis was analyzed 3 years from 2017 until 2019 for each company. We will measure the liabilities, non-current liabilities, equity, current asset, and non-current asset within 3 years from each company. So we go to the first company, which is MKH Berhad. Non-current asset decreased in 2017 until 2018 from 58% to 55%, but in 2019, non-current asset rising sharply. This is because the company will increase the fund for the property, plant, and equipment in 2019. Current asset is an increase of 3% in 2017 until 2018, but it decreased in 2019. Only 2% in the total current asset that has been recorded for common size balance sheets. Equity has been increased from 2017 until 2018, which is from 47% to 49%. Meanwhile, there was a very sharp rise of the equity in the company in 2019. This is showing how the company take care of their shareholder and the company's asset. The non-current liability decreased from 2017 to 2019. 0% has been recorded for the company common size balance sheet in 2019 by the company. The company is able to meet its financial obligation in the long term. The last one is current liability will be increased in 2017 until 2018 by 2% of the increment. It measures that the company must pay the debts to supplier within the year. So we go to the second company, which is LBS Bina Group Berhad. Non-current asset continuously increased from 47.18% to 52.49% from 2017 until 2019. It is because company focuses more on the long-term investment. According to the graph above, from the year 2017 until 2019, it shows the current asset has been declined from 52.81% to 57.5%. Current assets are important to businesses because they can be used to fund day-to-day business operation. The next one is equity has decreased around 2.25%. In the next year, the equity has grown around 1.6%. from the amount of the last year, which is 32.4%. It shows how much money would be returned to the shareholder. The non-current liability in 2017 to 2018, it showed an increase from 26.54% to 26.65%. It was about 0.11% growth, but in 2019, it decreased to 25.96%. The last one is current liability for this company has increased from 2017 until 2018 from 38.81% to 40.95%. For the year 2019, current has been declined with 40.04% compared to the last year. So the last company is Berjaya Asset Berhad. Non-current asset decreased from 19.7% to 89.2% from 2017 until 2018, but remained steady in 2019 at 89.6%. Depreciation on non-current asset may occur between the 3 years. The current asset climbed 1.5% to 2018, but declined 0.4% in 2019. The analysis measured that the company can be used to fund day-to-day business operation and to pay for the ongoing operation expenses. Equity has decreased by around 1.6%. It shows how much money would be returned to the shareholder if all the company's assets were liquidated and all the company's debt were paid off. The non-current liability in 2017 until 2018 are concerned to decrease, which is 1.8% in 2019. The non-current liability has increased 0.8%. Current liabilities for this company will increase from 2017 until 2019, which is to rise to 1.6%. It measures that a company must pay the debt to suppliers within 1 year in a normal operating cycle.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I will continue the presentation about comparative between MKH Berhad and LBS Bina Group Berhad, which are start with current asset. There have 148.4% for current asset for LBS, which means that LBS Berhad have a good condition in their current asset compared to MKH Berhad. And move forward to non-current asset, which is LBS is 151.86%, but MKH have a highest non-current asset compared to LBS Bina Berhad, which is 264%. And for the equity, which is the equity, the higher is the better. And MKH Berhad have a higher equity compared to LBS Bina Group Berhad. So for the current liability, the highest for the current liability is not good, which is we have a liabilities for the companies. For LBS Bina Group have a dominant in 119.80%. So forward to non-current liabilities, which is the highest is 79.15% for LBS Bina Group Berhad. I move to the comparative between LBS Bina Group Berhad versus Berjaya Asset Berhad. There have a current asset. Start with current asset. LBS is the highest compared to Berjaya Asset Berhad, which is 148.40%. But for Berjaya Asset, the only 131%, which is LBS is better than Berjaya Asset. For the non-current asset, 141.86 for LBS, but the highest for the non-current asset is Berjaya Asset Berhad, which is 270%. For the equity, Berjaya asset is dominant, which is 119%, and then the current liability is 190 18%. That shows that LBS have a more liability rather than Berjaya asset. But the more you have, for the LBS, they have a uh, more current liabilities, but have more their current liabilities. Now, for non-current asset, dominant to Berjaya asset Berhad. For the next slide is comparative between MKH Berhad and Berjaya Asset Berhad, which is the current asset 89% is dominant to MKH. That means that current asset for MKH is highest than Berjaya Asset Berhad. For the non-current asset 264, but Berjaya Asset dominant the 270%. For the equity, the Berjaya asset dominant 190% and it's better than MKH Berhad. For the current liabilities, the highest current liabilities is Berjaya asset Berhad, 110%. That shows that the current liabilities for Berjaya is highest than MKH Berhad, but their current asset and the lowest. It shows that Berjaya Asset Berhad is not in the good position. They have to improve their current asset to pay the such as inventory. They need to sell and then they get the profit. For the non-current liabilities, Berjaya Asset is highest than MKH Berhad. For the conclusion of the comparative between the three of the company, for MKH Berhad give the best performance in the common size for non-current liability, equity, current liability, and also non-current liabilities, but low in current asset compared to LBS Berhad. MKH Berhad able to manage their tools to make the company run smoothly. Berjaya Asset Company have a good common size in tools of non-current asset equity and current liabilities, but underperformance for current asset liabilities. In some, there's both company have to enhance tools of common size. MKH have a good tools of common size, which the company good performance in current assets, current liabilities and non-current liabilities. But Berjaya Berhad, the company was a good non-current asset when common size compared to MKH. For the equity, Berjaya have a good equity, which is compared to MKH only 184%.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad SHAHIZAM bin Muhammad Hanafi. Okay, now I will proceed to the chapter 3 horizontal analysis. Okay, this is analysis of company MKH Berhad. I have used the data to calculate the index trend, and the formula that I have used, which is current year divided by base year and multiply with 100, and then I will get the answer. Okay, for the next slide, for the index trend. Okay, from the index analysis, it can be clearly seen that the sales of revenue for the MKH Berhad is contraction. It is increased from 2015 to 2016, but in 2017, the sales dropped. In 2018, the company's sales increased more than before. This continues until 2019. According to the data from 2015 until 2019, for the cost of goods sold, we analyzed that the cost of goods sold has increased from 2015 until 2016, but in 2017, it decreased from 117.5% to 95.37%. In 2018, the company came back with 102.29% and got higher in 2019 with 112.55%. It shows the company processes a large cost in their operation. Okay, for the total operating expenses, the total operating expenses have increased in 2015 until 2017 by 14.48%. It gives a negative impact if the expenses continue to increase. But in 2018, the total operating expenses decreased to 112.57%. In 2019, for the total operating expenses increased again to 119.51%. Okay, another for the earning before interest and tax. Earning before interest and tax has recorded an increment from 2015 to 2016 by 91.22%. For the year 2017 until 2018, it shows some reduction, but in 2019, it shows a positive result with some increases. It shows the company's ability to earn enough money to be profitable, paid off debts. Okay, last but not least, for the earning or profit after tax. Earning after tax shows an increment from 2015 to 2016, but it shows a decline until 2018 by 77.70%. It is a result of a company sales declining and poor expenses management. For 2019, the company net income has increased again. Okay, for the second company, which is LBS Bina Group Berhad. The formula that I have been used like before. Okay, from the index analysis, the sales of LBS Bina Group Berhad shows increasing from 2015 until 2017, but in 2018, the trend shows slightly decrease to 164.94%, with the reduction about 35.31%. In 2019, it was increased again. It shows the company gain more profit when their sales will increase. Okay, next for the cost of goods sold. The cost of goods sold has been increased from 2015 until 2019. It shows a large cost incurred along the operation process, and it also demonstrates that all costs and expenses directly related to the production of goods are in a bad condition. Okay, for the total operating expenses, in overall, total operating expenses has been increasing from 2015 until 2019. It gives a negative impact if the expenses still continuous increase. The management of the company need to restructure again the cost involved for the production. Okay, furthermore, for the earning before interest and tax, it shows a positive result, which is it shows an increases from year 2015 until 2019, even they have a bit decreasing in the year 2018. It determines that the company abilities to earn enough money to be profitable, pay off debts, and sustain ongoing operation. Okay, last but not least, for the interest, for the earning profit after interest and tax. From the 2016 to 2019, the earning after interest and tax table shows a declining trend. Negative average can occur as a result of a company sales declining and poor expenses management. Okay, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, next for the company Berjaya Asset Berhad. The sale of Berjaya Asset Berhad show decreasing from 2016 until 2018. It is equivalent from 93.78% to 75.75%. But in 2019, the sales were increasing to 18.0%. It showed that the company gained more profit when the sale increased. Next, the cost of goods sold. The cost of goods sold has been falling from 2016 to 2018. It demonstrates that all costs and expenses directly related to production of goods are in good condition. However, compared to the previous year, is up to 10% in 2019. It showed that the cost was increasing. Furthermore, operating costs for this company show the sideways movement. The index number increased from 70.14% to 51.18% between 2016 and 2017. However, in 2018, it fell to 9.42%, and in 2019, it increased to 35.48%. The increase represents ongoing costs involved in maintaining a company on day-by-day basis. In addition, earnings before interest and tax in 2016 show negative. Then it show a positive EBIT and tax in 2017, which a rate 7.44%. It determines a company ability to earn enough money to be profitable, pay off debt, and sustain ongoing operation. The company was unable to generate enough earnings to be profitable from 2018 to 2019. Lastly, from 2016 to 2019, earnings after tax show negative in index trend analysis. Negative average can occur as a result of company sales decline and poor expensive management. Okay, next for overall comparative analysis. Based on the sale index, MKH Berhad and LBS Bina Group Berhad show the uptrend movement. Thus, LBS Bina Group Berhad rise drastically to the top among these three companies. But for Berjaya Asset Berhad, this company seemed to show downtrend movement starting 2015 until 2019. In 2019, the higher percentage among these three companies was LBS Bina Group Berhad, which is 194.8%, and the lowest was Berjaya Asset Berhad, which is 18.0%. The big momentum of dropping proof that the Berjaya Asset Berhad are unable to generate sales efficiently. For the cost of goods sold index, MKH Berhad and LBS Bina Group Berhad show the uptrend movement. LBS Bina Group Berhad was higher than the others and the Berjaya Asset Berhad was the least ones. The highest index in 2019 was LBS Group Berhad, which is 214.36%, and the lowest was index Berjaya Asset Berhad, which is 64.35%. Cost of goods sold show any cost incurred along the operation process, and it also demonstrates that all costs and expenses are directly related to the production of goods. Moreover, the total operating cost index for this company are show sideways movement. For the three companies, show drop drastically in 2017 until 2018. In 2019, the highest index percentage was LBS Bina Group Berhad, which is 137.79%, and lowest index was Berjaya Asset Berhad, which is 35.84%. All these three companies started to maintain their costs of resources used by an organization for the next year. Furthermore, EBIT for MKH Berhad, the company was the lowest in EBIT from the years 2015 until 2019. The higher percentage among them will be LBS Group Berhad, which is 170.59% in the year 2017. The lowest that have reached the negative value is MKH Berhad, which is negative 26.01%, So it clearly showed the MKH Berhad was decreased their ability to create more profit. Finally, the profit after tax for MKH Berhad in 2016 was the highest, which is 221.65% compared to LBS Group Berhad and Berjaya Asset Berhad. LBS Group Berhad experienced a decrease a percentage of profit. It will still be a top among the three companies in the year 2019, which is 125.65%. Company need to come out with more idea and planning in order to survive the market, especially in the property sector. In conclusion, who are the best and the worst among three companies? For the sale which within in 5-year comparison, the best are going to the LBS Bina Group Berhad, and the worst are going to Berjaya Asset Berhad and MKH Berhad. For the cost of goods sold within 5-year comparison, the best are going to LBS Bina Group Berhad, and the worst are Berjaya Asset Berhad. Furthermore, the operating cost within 5-year comparison, the best are LBS Group Berhad, and the worst are MKH Berhad and Berjaya Asset Berhad. For earning before interest and tax within 5-year comparison, the best are LBS Group Berhad, and the worst are MKH Berhad and Berjaya Asset Berhad. Earning after tax for three companies in 5-year comparison, the best are going to LBS Group Berhad, and the worst are MKH Berhad and Berjaya Asset Berhad. So, overall in conclusion, LBS Bina Group Berhad are the more performance between the three companies.